If you like knowing stuff, you're in the right place. Welcome to a new series all about the seven wonders. There are tons of lists known as the seven wonders. An example is the seven wonders of nature, another, the new seven wonders of the world. It's fitting to start with the oldest list of these because older is always better, unless you're weird. These are the most incredible and spectacular inventions from classical antiquity. There were seven on the list, because the number represented perfection and plenty, as well as the number of planets known at the time plus the sun and moon. If you can't do math, they knew about 5 planets at the time. Seven is also the best age for marriage. The list starts off with the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is located in El Giza, Egypt. Very clever. This pyramid was the first ancient wonder to be constructed. The construction started in 2550 BC and completed in 2490 BC. The pyramids were constructed by aliens. For the dummies out there, when it says BC, the number of years work backwards, because why not? The Great Pyramid of Giza is the only one of the ancient wonders that is still around today. Now for some useless facts. The Great Pyramid of Giza is 147 meters tall, and it is mostly made of limestone and granite. It sits next to the pyramids of Menkaure and Khafre, but these don't matter. For all the gross astrology girls, the pyramid is aligned with the constellation Orion. If you know which astrology sign this is, please let me know in the comments. Just kidding. If you like astrology, you're dumb. And finally, pyramids were built for the tombs of pharaohs because rich people deserve the best. Also, please Google it. The pyramids were not built by slaves. They were built by aliens. Come on. Next on the list is one large statue. Which one, you ask? The one of a god? The one that creates awe in the beholder? You got it. It's Quandale Dingle. Just kidding. It's the Colossus of Rhodes. The statue was approximately the height of the Statue of Liberty. It was a statue erected on a bay in Rhodes, which is a Greek island for you dummies, to celebrate defending the island from a siege. It is a depiction of the sun god Helios. He's the guy that pulls a chariot across the sky with the sun like a ball. The statue was destroyed by an earthquake and eventually burned down and was sold by invaders. Get wrecked. There is a possibility that the statue will be recreated in the 21st century. The actual location of the statue is unknown, but there is a general idea of where it was. And to conclude with this wonder, I end with the most important fact. It took 900 camels to carry away the scrap metal from the statue after it fell. The next wonder on the list is the only one that has not been proven to exist, as there is not enough evidence or writings about the place. This place is the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. The gardens were said to be located near the Royal Palace of Babylon, which is modern-day Iraq for you non-Bible reading scum normies. One very smart archaeologist suggested that the gardens were not hanging but were in the air on terraces. The gardens were then irrigated by the Archimedes screws. Sorry to burst your bubble, Sally, but they were not hanging, but instead overhanging from terraces. Thanks, you stupid translators. They're still pretty cool, though. Remember, there is no solid evidence or writings from the Babylonians, but they likely did exist and eroded over time. Rest in peace, all the botanist nerds. Next up is definitely by far the coolest wonder on the list. A lighthouse. Yep, just like the thing in Scooby-Doo with the weird ghost seaman, except glorified. This lighthouse was called the Lighthouse of Alexandria, and it was located in, wait for it, Alexandria, Egypt. It is believed to be the first ever lighthouse constructed. Here's your medal. It was built in the 3rd century BC and fell due to earthquakes in the 12th to 14th centuries. The lighthouse was built on a tiny island at the port. A fire burned at night in the lighthouse to guide ships in, since sailors were blind and Edison was not around yet. Many of the remains of the lighthouse are underwater next to Pharos Island, along with statues that were housed there. The 5th wonder on the list is the Mausoleum Halicarnassus. Yep, if you thought a lighthouse was weird, what about a place for dead people being called a wonder? The mausoleum is located in the city I mentioned earlier that I don't want to pronounce again, which was a city of the Achaemenid Empire. Oh, sorry? You don't know where that is? Well, it's where modern-day Turkey is. The large monument was the tomb for Mausolus, the ruler of Korea. This complicated city name was the capital of his empire, and his sister and widow, Sweet Home Alabama, built it for him between 353 and 351 BC. Each of the four sides of the mausoleum were decorated by the four most famous Greek artists at the time, and I'm not going to name them because they're so famous. The sixth wonder on the list is the statue of Zeus at Olympia, in Olympia, Greece. Whoa. The statue is one of two built by my favorite world-famous sculptor, Phidias, and was placed inside the huge temple of Zeus. The statue is 40 feet high, and if you want the other unit, screw off might. The statue is made of gold and ivory, and sits on a throne of cedar wood and precious stones. On his right hand sits Nike, the god of victory, not the brand neon kids wear, and his left hand holds a scepter with an eagle. Phidias's workshop has been discovered, and the statue was able to be dated to 430 BC, but the temple it was put in was destroyed in 426 BC. All that work for nothing. The last and least cool wonder is the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, which is in present-day Turkey. It was built by Croesus, who was the king of Lydia. It was built in 550 BC and was burned down by some crazy man named Herostratus in 356 BC. The temple was impressively large and was full of many artworks. The temple had a statue of Artemis in it. No way. Oh yeah, the temple was also built for the first time in 800 BC and then destroyed in the 7th century before being rebuilt in 550 BC like mentioned earlier. It was not rebuilt a third time due to high construction costs. It was also one of the first buildings built from marble. Here's another metal. The remains of the temple were first found by some rando named John Turtlewood, who was really trying to find it. That's about it. Those are the 7 ancient wonders of the world, which also sparked many more lists, which will be talked about in future videos.